Hey everybody, today we're going to go over the pros and cons of living in Traverse City, Michigan. My name is Tom YAGLE and I'm a realtor in Traverse City, Michigan. If you're new to this channel and want to stay up to date on everything about living in Traverse City, Michigan and the surrounding areas, make sure to like this video, click subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be the first to know about the market in Traverse City, Michigan. I know it can be nerve-wracking to call a real estate agent whether you've had a good experience or no experience at all. I'm here to help, and I get calls and emails from people just like you every single day looking to move to Traverse City, Michigan. Whether you're moving in the near future or the distant future, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I would be glad to help you make your move to Traverse City, Michigan. So pros and cons of living in Traverse City, Michigan. To start, we'll just talk about the neighborhoods. Whether you're moving into an upper class neighborhood, a middle class neighborhood, a lower middle class neighborhood, everything is beautiful around here, of course. Obviously, the amenities that you'll get in your neighborhoods are going to vary based on the neighborhood you buy in. Also, the houses in the area are going to vary based on the neighborhoods you buy in. There's a lot of new construction around here. A lot of new neighborhoods going up, as well as the neighborhoods that have been there for years. If you're not wanting to live in a neighborhood and you want to live farther out, there are some places that are beautiful. You can get some acreage. You can have some space of your own where you're not encumbered by a neighbor. That's really nice too. We're a pretty small town, but we're not that small of a town, right? The surrounding areas are definitely going to be smaller, but our town is like a pretty big little town. So you'll have some busy times, some not so busy times. Traffic will be that way. I would say there's no like 30-minute traffic jams. It's, if there's a traffic jam, you might be sitting there for maybe 10 minutes, and that might happen like 3 times a year. But there's a ton of public transportation, beta bus. There's a ton of schools here. Almost all of them are fantastic schools. There's not too many kids per classroom. Here, you're known by everybody in the school. We're not so small that you know everybody in town, but we're also small enough that you know everybody in your school, at least to some extent. We have an airport right in town, right in the heart of Traverse City, maybe probably the lung of Traverse City. That was supposed to be a joke. It seems kind of dry here by myself. Okay, airport right in town. It's great. So some of our attractions are Cherry Festival. We have the Cherry Festival. It's a huge attraction that happens every year. There's concerts, there's stands, there's different food vendors. It's downtown, so there's a ton of restaurants open and a ton of food down there as well. Ton of shopping. There's music that comes there, live music we have for 3 or 4 different days. There's tons of stuff to do there. There's a whole carnival set up there. So you have all the fun rides you want to do, Ferris wheel, Gravitron, I think. I can't do the spin rides. They make me want to throw up, so don't do them. The Zipper's there with a bunch of various rides for all ages. We have the film festival that comes here, so it's a big film festival. If you're a film junkie, that's right up your alley. We have the Detroit Red Wings training camp here. That's a fun one if you're into hockey. We have the fair here. We have a local fair. Everything there that you could find on a farm around this area, they all bring it there. Half of the stuff is petting. You can go through, you can feed them. It's another thing that we have here. Again, being a little big town, we got all these big festivals, but we also got these like small town homey type festivals that make you feel like you're really in a small town. The fair has tons of rides, even more rides than the Cherry Festival because it's a bigger area. We have some really cool haunted house attractions. We have a baseball stadium that's used for not only baseball. We had a couple comedians come, a couple concerts as well. Distance from big cities. So we're 2 hours from Grand Rapids and we're about 4 hours from Detroit. Now that's going to vary depending on the area that you're going to. While we do live a little bit farther from the big cities, if you're looking for that big city life, you have those there just a couple hours away. The weather here is absolutely beautiful every season. It's literally a Hallmark card here. For all you hockey players, in the winter times, if you want to build a rink, we have temperatures that would allow you to build a rink. You have lakes everywhere, from lakes that you just fish on to lakes that you do water sports on to lakes that you do everything on. You have tons of wooded area that you can walk through, state land. You have hiking trails, you have biking trails. Just, if you're an active person all year round, you can be an active person here all year round. Just about every sport you can think of, we have it here. So there's some sort of league you can join, whether you're a kid or an adult, or whether it's ran through the school, or you're just doing a men's league to any sport. They have it here. It's organized well in the younger areas, and it's still organized well as an adult. So that's really cool. There's lots of parks here, family parks, as well as just touristy parks. We also have a lot of golf courses. I don't know if you're into golf, but we have some of the most beautiful golf courses in the area. Arcadia Bluffs, the resort has 3 different golf courses. Sundance and Agaming area has some beautiful courses right off the water, right off the lake. You really can't beat it here for golf. We have a lot of custom home builders here. It is nice to be able to directly work with them. You're not working through them. You're working with them directly to build your house, which is kind of a plus. So cons, we talked about the nice things about the 4 seasons, right? But also there's bad things about the 4 seasons, because I mean, it's winter, man. It's cold. There's salt on the road. It's icky out. It's rainy. It's uncomfortable. It's not fun. But if you don't like snow, that could be a big con for you. You have to get up earlier, start your car a little bit sooner, you know, brush it off, snow blow your driveway. The leaves, if you have a bunch of trees around your house, you got to rake the leaves in the fall. That can be a pain in the butt. It's just an extra thing you have to do. It's very muggy here in the summertime. It's humid and hot. That's what you get during the summertime. Those are the cons with the weather. So think about that if you're moving to this area or wanting to move to this area. Those are things. You can also just buy a summer home here and be a seasonal snowbird. That's fine. Tons of people do it. We live in a beautiful place. That's what you're going to have. The cost of living is high. It's not high compared to New York or California. Those are really high places. You pay for the beauty. So your property near the water is going to cost more. Any sort of beautiful elevated properties, it's all going to cost more. If you're coming from like a really big city, it's going to be lower here. But if you're coming from a relative city, you know, a city where you just have a lower cost of living than the general areas, you know, across the United States, you're going to come here and find it might be a little higher. Honestly, it can be a pro and a con. While we talked about the driving to Grand Rapids and Detroit only being 2 to 4 hours, that could be a con too. If you're used to being able to drive 30 minutes and get to a huge concert and then just be able to cruise right home, you might not like that you have to drive a couple hours to get to a big venue or a big concert, or even 4 hours to get to a big venue or a big concert. If so, you have to take that into consideration before you move here. We are a tourist town in the summer months. In the winter months, there are quite a few people that leave this area and go to their home in Florida or wherever it may be. They're here for the beautiful weather and the beautiful scenery and the festivals. All the festivals we went over in the pros, that's why all those people are here. But I just want you to be aware that it can be a con. And no, there's a lot of older people here. This is a retirement area as well as a tourist area, as well as a new upcoming area. Sometimes you're going to get behind some really slow drivers. And that's for their safety, I think. You just roll with it. There's a lot of times where you'll be able to get around them. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. And certainly not like anything that you would get downstate, but you should be aware of it. The traffic can sometimes be not necessarily something you'd like. As far as the pros and cons, there's a lot of great reasons to move to Traverse City, Michigan. And if the cons deter you from moving here, that's great. I'm glad I could give you that information. I will continue to be making videos about Traverse City, Michigan. I'm going to do neighborhoods. I'm going to do price points. So what's your 400,000 going to get you? What's your 600,000 going to get you? What's your 800,000 going to get you? What's your million and up going to get you in the Traverse City and surrounding areas? Tons of new stuff coming out. If you're interested in moving here, please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I would love to hear from you. Make sure you like this video, you hit the bell, hit the subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything about living in this Traverse City and surrounding areas. I will be doing more pros and cons. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments down below. I'll gladly make videos on it. I would love to do that for you. I want everybody that watches these to be aware of all the things that are great about this area, all the things that aren't great about this area, and so you can make the most educated decision on whether you would like to move here or not. Being a realtor in this area and growing up in this area, I know tons about it, right? And I love it here. It's a beautiful place to raise kids. It's a beautiful area to raise a family. You can't beat that. It's nice for single people. If you're just, trying to live single, you can, there's a lot of shared rental places around here. I'm really glad I got the opportunity to make this video, and thank you so much for watching. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I'm so glad that I now get to do it again. So thank you.